Everybody, so today, Sunday, is the last day for the Kansas City Comic Con. It's not Planet Comic Con, which is bigger. This is the Kansas City Comic Con. So we have two. They have more like media guests, and their artist aisle is a little bigger at the KCCC show rather than the Kansas Planet Comic. Yes. The Kansas City Comic Con convention has more guests and more artists, not like, I don't want to say professional, but you know what I'm talking about. Like the people that do like the chainmail and the guy that makes the swords and the giant foam cosplay stuff. Those kind of artists, not, you know, for example, Larry Stroman or Tony Moore. Both of those guys were there, but that's besides the point. Anyway, I wasn't sure whether or not I was even going to be able to go. Like a month and a half ago, I did request the day off, so I had the day off anyway. And I mean, money's just been a little tight since I had to buy a new car, but it's all paid for, so cool. So I went this morning. I was gonna last night. My lady finally talked me into going because I was kind of hesitant. I was like, well, with ticket, like admission plus parking, that's $40 just to get into the building. So I don't know, you know, it's but there were a couple people there that I was like stoked to go see. I got some autographs. I picked up a couple books, like literally, like this is my con haul. That's it. But I'm gonna start with this. Cammie had talked about Lumberjanes in a couple of her videos. And my lady's like, oh, that sounds good. I want to check that out. I'm like, cool. So we went and we tracked down some of the singles. I think we started at like issue 6 or 7 or something. We were down to just needing issue 1 before they could read it because her daughter got into it too. So that was cool. So we went on eBay and we found this. This is the Virgin edition of Lumberjanes #1. It's autographed, presumably by one of the writers or artists, I'm not sure, and she doesn't really care. I put like the minimum on this thing and just like let it ride, and we won this deal shipped for like $4. The guy probably should have put like some more cardboard or something in it. It came in a little bent, but my lady doesn't care, and this is like one of her new favorites. So thank you, Cammie. Okay, on to the books. I was kind of disappointed with the amount of comics that were actually for sale at the Kansas City Comic Con. There was like 3 or 4 times where I'm like digging through boxes. There's only like 5 vendors really. And I'm digging through boxes and like some little kid will walk up next to me and go, hey, what's that? I'm like, it's a comic book. Ah, I'm like, you're at the comic book convention. Okay. I guess it just confused me. Bewildered, more like it. What do you want to see first? You want to see the autographs? Because I got this signed. This dude was so cool. Larry Stroman. Super nice guy. Super nice guy. Super nice guy. I was walking over to his table, and he's like reenacting some story. He's talking to Tony Moore like in the aisle, and he's reenacting some story about this fight that he got in when he was a security guard. So it was like watching Larry Stroman, who's a big dude, do kung fu with Tony Moore at the convention. It was kind of fun. And I also ran into Kyle Strom, the guy that does the art for Spread. He's like, hey man, you got a haircut. I'm like, yeah, thanks bud. So that's cool. Okay, what else did I get signed? Oh, it's in the other room. And I'll be right back. Sorry. I'm prepared. Yeah, but that's the lanyard. Yeah, whatever, it is what it is. Cool, there it is. Yay. I took this to get signed. I picked, oh, yeah, these two things are related. But I'm sure anybody who's familiar with my channel, and if you're not, hi, my name's Tim. Thanks for stopping by. I'm a huge fan of this. Huge fan of this. And I got signed. So stoked. He could care less that he was signing my book, but it made my day. And I also picked up Raw Fury, The Art of Mike Zeck. Dun, dun, dun. This is a catalog from an exhibit that I think he said it was in LA. He just tried to sell me prints, really. It was a little disappointing. But flipping through this, it's really nostalgic of like, you know, he's got all like the G.I. Joe covers and stuff that he did. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And it's just like, man, I remember that. 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 Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. And he's like, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's $5 for the... Cool. Cool. Here's all my money. Just, you're Mike Zeck. You're like one of my favorites. This is cool. Pleasure to meet you. It's a business. I know. So, yeah. And after that, I just wasn't really in the mood to deal with Michael Golden. So, maybe next time. Okay. So after getting my book signed by Mike Zeck, which was the first thing I did, I got into the hall. Wow. The convention had been open probably for 40 minutes by the time I got there. When I got on the floor, aside from the vendors and the people selling their wares and what have you, and the artist and everybody else, there was probably 40 people in the building. So I made a beeline straight to Mike Zeck. I got my book signed. I was like, yay! Ah, you know? And I turned around and I was like, okay, comics. First place I look. What did I get at the first place I looked? I didn't get anything at the first place I looked because they wanted too much for their stuff. But the second place I went, I found... Oh, I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked. I just reached, you know, I'm looking, I got my phone out, I got my list, I have a general idea of what I'm looking for. And come across this. This is the last issue of Promethea. I think this is number 34, okay? Right? You have no idea how much of a pain in the ass it is to find this book. It's not priced, right? There's no nothing on it. I'm like, great. It's one of those, you know what I'm talking about, like, oh, you're interested in that? Let me get the book out. Oh yeah, that's in your Mint Plus, so that's da-da. Guy's like, $3, sold, done. Done. They also had, this is issue 28, super cool, 29, and 30. Man. High five, I win, yay. Actually, we all win. We're all winners. All of us. Okay. This guy, all his stuff was half off, and I've talked about this title before, Doom Patrol. Now, I'm not particularly fussed about grade on Doom Patrol. There's just something, like, there's some of my books that I have where I'm like, yeah, no, it's got to be, if it's not perfect, I don't care. You know, I don't want it. But then there's, like, it kind of, I've seen these in high grade, right? Like, issues of Doom Patrol, and they're wonderful, and they're great, and everything else, but then you get, like, what Cammy calls sexy grade, because this is definitely sexy grade. There's, like, some chipping in there, yada, yada, yada. But, it just kind of fits, I think, a little bit more with some Silver Age stuff. I mean, like, if I ever come across, like, an X-Men 50, and I can get a great copy at a reasonable price, then I'm going to jump on that. I'm not saying, okay, but, like, with Doom Patrol, I'm not really concerned about grade as long as it's intact. If it's all there, fine, I'm in. Let's do this. And this guy wanted half off, so this was what? $8.50. $8.50. This is the second cheapest issue of Doom Patrol I have in my collection. I paid $8.50. Stoked. Stoked, stoked, stoked. So it's not really like a quality kind of thing in this haul, or quantity, it's more like a quality. Picked up Fables number 2, or oops, 4. This was free. It says $12, but it was free because I bought Doom Patrol 116 for $12. So yeah, he's like, yeah, that's fine, cool. Right on. Ship them right away on my Doom Patrol. I picked up some Image Madman stuff. This is issue 11. This was $1. This is 7. This is $1. This was, I decided I was going to leave the con, and I made like one last loop. I was like, man, this is crazy, because whatever. And then I found this, $2.50. Haha. Alright. So, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you later.